And so if Jesse James were right now saying, hey, I'm going to the Olympics, they would have watched this video and said, sorry, Jesse, you can't go, you're banned. Coach Greg, in today's video, Jesse James is no longer natural, and I have proof. No, it's not clickbait. And so Jesse made a video. He's trying injectable pre-workout for the very first time, and little did he know that he was actually breaking the Natty rules. And he quite literally asked him, does this revoke my Natty card? And he was told, no, it doesn't. You're still 100% natural. But yet he isn't. And so let's watch the video. Remember, I have proof. I'm going to show you exactly what he did. Stay tuned and find out.
We're about to do the injectable pre-workout. I'm not gonna lie, my heart's racing a little bit. I don't inject anything in my body, and this is definitely new.
First things first, I do in fact believe that Jesse James was 100% natural, that he wasn't using anything in the past.
So with an injection, Jesse's actually gonna absorb about 90% of this pre-workout instead of taking a drink, taking a supplement in my mouth.
And so she states that by injecting your pre-workout, you're gonna get about 90% absorption versus if you do what Coach Greg's doing, which is drinking my pre-workout, I'm only gonna get about 30% absorption. Well, if that were simply the case, then all of us who are taking in our pre-workouts, would we really feel it? And if not, why wouldn't we just up the dose? Think of it. If you only absorb 30% of it, why don't you just take 5 times more, 10 times more? And if you compare what they put in Jesse's injection, some of it is 50 times less than what you're getting in a standard pre-workout. And so even if it is in fact 3 times more highly absorbed, it's 50 times lower in dose. And so how is it possible that the injection is going to be that much better, if any, in comparison to your standard pre-workout?
So wait, hold on. Does this make me natty? Like still?
Not at all.
No?
And so Jesse states, does this make me natty? Her response, no, not at all. And at that point, she was in fact correct. But listen to what she says next.
I'm losing my natty card?
No, you are still natty all the way. It's just like taking a pre-workout drink. You're getting it the better way. Absolutely possible.
And so I don't think she's up to date on WADA's intravenous infusion and or injection protocol as of 2018. Intravenous IV infusions have been included in the WADA list of prohibited substances and methods under section M2 prohibited methods. Intravenous infusions are prohibited both in competition, that's when you're competing, and out of competition, for example, a month before your competition, if the volume delivered exceeds 100 mLs within a 12-hour period. And so what does that mean? It means that even if you're not injecting performance-enhancing drugs like SARMs, steroids, and so on, that you can't inject that into your body if it's containing over 100 mLs of fluid. And so you can do a shot, for example, 1 to 3 cc's, but if you're using an IV infusion method, it's actually banned by WADA. And you think I'm making this shit up? Well, look no further than Ryan Lochte, the swimmer. Remember, he swam against Michael Phelps. He literally posted on his Instagram that he was getting essentially the same thing as Jesse James West. And you know what happened? They wrote him a letter and he was banned from performing at the Olympics. The Olympics! And so if Jesse James were right now saying, hey, I'm going to the Olympics, they would have watched this video and said, sorry, Jesse, you can't go, you're banned. And so although I know he's not taking PEDs, he's not taking drugs, SARMs, steroids, and so on, he is using a method that is in fact deemed unnatural. And as we watch this video, just look at how much benefit he gets. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying he had no benefits. I'm saying he had too many benefits. He felt too good. Not unlike how you would feel in the gym if you are taking a banned performance-enhancing drug such as Anavar, SARMs, and so on. I'm not calling him a cheat, and I'm not saying he's using steroids. And although it's banned by WADA, I don't think it should be. I'm not saying that this is cheating. I'm saying that WADA has deemed that this offers too much performance-enhancing benefits to allow you to compete as a natural athlete. IV infusions are inhibited on the prohibited list mainly because some athletes could use this prohibited method to enhance their performance by increasing plasma volume levels.
Big stick, hard part 2.
Oh, it's already done?
Already done.
Wow.
And she stuck it in and never even noticed. Sounds like Will Tennyson in the bedroom.
When will it kick in?
Normally kicks in within an hour. It's going to go right into your bloodstream. You're absorbing
Okay.
it right now as you speak.
Oh my gosh.
And so she says it's going to kick in about an hour. Well, let me tell you, when you inject something directly into the vein, arteries, under your skin, and so on, the time it takes to absorb it can be instantaneous or within several minutes. Unless the ester is a longer ester, there's no reason that it's going to take an hour. When I was injecting, for example, testosterone suspension with no ester, I could feel it right away. By the time I'm driving to the gym, I'm already pumped up. And remember, what he's actually had injected is really not going to make that much of a difference. I would argue that what Jesse experienced with the injection could only be defined as being part of the placebo effect. If you compare what's in Jesse James' favorite pre-workout, which is Gorilla Mode, the ingredients, in my opinion, are far superior to that of that injection. And so if you had two people, one had Jesse James' shot and the other had Derek's pre-workout, I do believe for the most part, almost everyone would get more benefit from taking Derek's Gorilla Mode than from taking that shot. And so in this IV infusion, it's going to be about approximately 750 mLs of fluid, also 0.9% saline, which is sodium, as well as a host of other nutrients, including amino acids, vitamin C, and vitamin B, and so on. And so think of it, Jesse James has been dieting for a month. The guy's shredded. He's on a low calorie intake, lower in carbs, lower in glycogen. That is decreasing his blood volume. And by infusing this amount of fluid into his bloodstream, he's going to have increased blood volume as well as being able to produce a greater stroke volume. More blood is going to be pushed throughout the heart with each and every beat. And so when he's training in the gym, he's going to feel like he's enhanced, perhaps the same as if he had taken Anavar, SARMs, or various hosts of other performance-enhancing drugs. And so just listen to how excited he is in the gym. He's describing the same benefits that I used to feel when I was on Anavar.
To literally give us the greatest pump of all time to ever touch this planet.
Does that not sound like a guy on performance-enhancing drugs? But remember, he's not on performance-enhancing drugs. He's on performance-enhancing administration of IV fluids, which is in fact banned by WADA, which revokes your Natty card. But listen, I'm not going to go so far to say Jesse's a fake natty. That is BS. He's not a fake natty. He's openly saying what he's doing. It would be, to me, similar to taking marijuana. But do we really care? And I can tell you that in drug-tested bodybuilding competitions, they don't even bother to drug test for marijuana. Why should they? And so is it really cheating to smoke a joint or take an edible before bed? To get better sleep? To have better, perhaps, recovery? To increase your appetite? Well, some would say yes. Perhaps you're stressed out. You take some edibles. It relaxes you, calms you. Is that not a performance-enhancing agent? Well, arguably, maybe. Now, does it help you to build muscle? Well, perhaps indirectly. If you can't eat and now you can, and you eat enough calories, that perhaps could allow you to build more muscle. And so it arguably is a performance enhancer. My personal opinion is I think it should be legal. I don't think WADA should test for it in the same sense that they used to drug test for caffeine. Did you know that? Caffeine was banned. Drank too many cups of Java? You're a drug cheat. But soon after that, they banned it from the drug list. Why? Because so many people are doing it. It's like, so what? You're drinking coffee. What's the big deal?
When you take a supplement by mouth, you only get about 30% of it. In a shot, you get about 80% of it. IV, it's 100% going right in your bloodstream at that time.
And just a cautionary note, Jesse is receiving 6 drops per second, which equates to approximately 1 liter of fluids per hour. This is a bolus amount. It's a lot. He's receiving it faster than last time. And to be very safe, you should not receive these fluids at a rate as fast as this. This could result in some individuals in pulmonary or cerebral edema. Not good. We don't want that. And so please get your IV fluids slower than last time.
We can put kind of like a hefty, safe dose amount of those vitamins and minerals. They'll last about 4 weeks.
And so she states it's going to last approximately 4 weeks. This is a great exaggeration. Even if the half-life were a day, it's not going to be in your system in 4 weeks. That's ridiculous. Your body's going to pee a lot of this out. Perhaps she's just trying to hype this shit up, saying, wow, it works for a month, but in reality, it doesn't. Imagine if you were drunk at the bar on a Saturday night and you were rehydrated that next day through IV fluids. Do you really think it would benefit you, your hydration, a month later? Of course not. Sure, it's helping you that day. But a week later, it's gone. If you like to party harder than last time and you can't afford to get IV infusions every single week, you can always attempt to use Perilite. This is highly beneficial. It's going to allow you to rehydrate your body much better than something like Prime. Not only that, has BCAAs and EAAs, going to help you build more muscle than last time. Stay hydrated. Get Perilite, code Greg, 10% off. Click the link in the description.
Jesse's gonna feel a much better pump. He's gonna see a lot bigger build in his muscle, a lot easier build in his muscle. It's gonna help with that lactic acid burn.
And so remember, of course he's going to feel a bigger pump. He has increased blood volume. He has more plasma in his blood, which is what's getting you the pump. When you drink a pre-workout, a pump product, you also sometimes consume carbohydrates as well as sodium. That goes into the blood vessels and allows you to get a greater pump. If your plasma blood volume is low, it's much harder to expand those veins and arteries. But if you consume pre-workouts such as Derek's Gorilla Mode, or for example, pre-workout 2.0 or pre-pump, of course you're going to get better pumps. That's why people use pre-workouts. Did you think that this was just snake oil that didn't work? We all know it works.
I was very skeptical going into this whole entire experiment because I just figured that there's no way that this stuff is gonna be better than a standard pre-workout.
Jesse is skeptical. He's not going in this thinking, yeah, it's gonna be so great. And so to me, much better for someone to be of that mentality than thinking, oh, it's gonna be so beneficial, because if you think that, it could in fact be the placebo effect.
See, I've been on diet for about 4 weeks, so getting a pump is honestly kind of rare. I don't get pumped as a natural bodybuilder. It's very difficult when I'm so carb depleted. I have no glycogen in my muscles.
And so if you wanna know what it feels like to take Anavar, to use performance-enhancing drugs, but you want to still, in fact, be natural? Exhibit A. This is exactly how I felt when I took performance-enhancing drugs. And so does it not make sense that WADA would ban this? Not to mention, every time you poke a hole in your body, whether it's with a needle or through an IV infusion, you're introducing the ability for bugs, germs, bacteria to come under your skin and create an infection. That is bad. And so is it actually worth it? I'm telling you, I don't know a single bodybuilder using steroids, injections, and so on who's never had an infection. And so if you continue to do this, it's not if, but when are you going to get an infection?
The craziest part of all is that the pump doesn't end at the gym. A few hours later, I still had a pump. The legs, still just feel pumped.
Yeah, it's exactly like when I took Anavar. It felt different in my arms. I'm driving the car and it felt like I wanted to flex my biceps. I just felt different on the inside. Watching this video literally is making me feel like taking Anavar. I'm not going to do it. Remember, I've stopped taking these things. I'm only using doctor-prescribed HRT, 140 milligrams a week, of which I inject 100 every 5 days. But it's bringing back the memories. And so if you're in fact natural, listen to Jesse, listen to how he describes this. That's what it feels like to be enhanced.
Typically when you take your pre-workout before going to the gym, you are gonna start getting tingles. Depending on the pre-workout, you're also going to kind of feel jittery.
So if you want a pre-workout that's smooth, that gets you focused, that makes you feel better in the gym without the jitters, look no further than pre-pump. Has no stimulants, yet it allows you to get the pump. You get that same feeling that Jesse's describing, but without the injection. But if you like a pre-workout with stim, then get pre-workout 2.0 or perhaps the hardcore pre-workout. Or of course, use code Jesse to use Derek's Gorilla Mode. But not on my website, on his website. I'm not sponsored by Derek. I have my own company.
There tends to be a large stigma around anything involving a needle in the bodybuilding space of becoming unnatural. It's all about the ingredients getting put into your body, and this stuff is extremely natural and extremely healthy.
Yes, the stuff is extremely natural. It's healthy. I'm not arguing with that. It's just the method of delivery that makes it not natty. Anything over 100 mLs, you can't do it. And so if Jesse were to use an IV administration and get 95 mLs, that would make him 100% natural. But because Jesse was using more than 100 mLs, and the fact that he was getting a bolus amount greater than 100 mLs in 12 given hours, this is deemed unnatural.
Only 3 sets in and I have a full upper body pump, like forearm, arm, shoulder, chest.
If Jesse's title had stated, I tried Anavar for the very first time, instead of I tried injectable pre-workout, I would have said bang on 100% description of how it feels to take Anavar.
I've never seen myself this wide in my entire life.
And so let me caution you, if you're already doing everything properly, you're not dehydrated, perhaps you're in a bulk, you're eating properly, you're doing everything you should do. If you add this administration of IV fluids, you can become fluor overloaded. That's a medical term. It's not good. You don't want it. And so don't do it without medical supervision. Please ask your doctor. Tell them, I'm bulking. Do I really need this?
Okay, we just took a photo of my back. There is literally a back vein. That's not normal.
Jesse James West looks incredible. I do believe that if he were to compete in a drug-tested IDFA event, for example, the same as Brett Mosing had entered, well, I do believe Jesse James would also get his natural pro card. And I don't believe that they're going to give a shit that he did an IV infusion. These are not Olympic drug tests. They're not using Olympic drug tests. They're not using WADA. And so although it wouldn't be legal according to WADA in the Olympics, I don't believe that in a natural bodybuilding show that they're gonna give a shit.
Normally I need a Rice Krispie, a fat bottle of water, a whole bunch of salt, and a ton of pump products to even get a pump anywhere near this.
And so based on what I'm hearing, I want to do it. I'm not even joking. Do you know how dehydrated I get after a bike event? I'm racing bikes. I'm using all the hydration methods I can. Of course, I'm using Perilite, pre-pump, and so on. And even with that, I sweat so much during a bike race that I am often dehydrated by 3, maybe even 4 pounds in 1 single hour. That's how much I sweat. And so if I were to use these hydration methods through intravenous, I do believe I could become faster than last time.
Only difference that I did miss out on was just sipping my pre-workout in the parking lot, getting ready and getting mentally prepared for the gym. But instead, I was coming to a doctor's office to get injected.
Now, remember this, he could in fact combine what he did with a pre-workout with stims, with caffeine, beta-alanine, and so on. And so that possibly would give the best of both worlds.
Are we seeing this right now? Bro, are you seeing this? I literally don't look natty at all.
He doesn't look natural. He doesn't. He looks that great. And so remember, the goal of any natural athlete is for people to say you're a fake natty. Jesse looks like a fake natty. Now remember, he's not. He's using IV administration of fluids, but let's be honest, who gives a shit? It's not going to revoke his natty card. But if he were to compete in the Olympics, he wouldn't be permitted. I'm not saying he's a fake natty. I'm just saying if he wanted to compete in the Olympics, he wouldn't be able to right now.
Midway through the workout, I probably had the largest arm pump I've ever had in my life.
I'm getting the same feeling of when you first start working out and you get your first pump.
Again, how I felt when I took Anavar. And this is not a promotional video for taking Anavar. Don't take Anavar without the advice and consent from your own doctor. I am not a doctor.
Do the benefits of getting a great pump outweigh the annoyance of poking myself with a needle almost every day? Guess I just felt like something was missing. And that thing was my gorilla mode.
And so perhaps he could take these injections on some off days, perhaps after drinking, saving it for when he needs it, but using his regular pre-workout, Derek's Gorilla Mode. And remember, if you want to support Jesse, use code Jesse on Derek's website. You can get Gorilla Mode there. Or of course, you can get any of my supplements, including GO2 Max, the best supplement for improved cardio, recovery, and more energy. And remember, you don't have to inject this. And many people are saying they feel it on their very first day, a noticeable difference, improved stamina, they want to go harder than last time for longer. And it's not the placebo effect. You might be thinking, oh, it's just a placebo effect. Double-blind, placebo-controlled human studies show that it works in the real world with real human beings, not mice and not rats. Interested in GO2 Max or any of the supplements, including Cookbook 3.0, please click the link in the description, code Greg, 10% off. And if you have no money, that's okay. Give it away a free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages, giving away close to 70,000 of these. And so all you have to do, head over to my website, enter your first and last name and email address. It's coming straight to you for absolutely no cost. And so what is your excuse? Get into the shape of your life. 150 minutes of cardio a week. Remember, try to train your entire body twice a week with weights. Also, have a healthy, balanced diet from all 4 food groups. You're well on your way to getting that dream physique, only halfway there. All you have to do is be better today than you were yesterday, better tomorrow than you were today. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you are. Subscribe, click that bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like this video if you liked it, of course, watch the 2 bloops, go and check out Jesse's original video. Remember, he's not a fake natty. Also, if you want to support Jesse, use code Jesse on Derek's website. And until next time, I am out.